F and then write with random data and verify that last write on there. That's considered good enough for government work, and it should be good enough for you. There is one, I don't know which one it is, G-Mark may know. There's a .mil branch that has a 7 wipe requirement. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head.
I couldn't say.
Okay. The real standard is, and this is the thing, because I mean, I've talked to multiple people about this. I've talked to, FBI, Air Force, NSA, various people, and what it really comes down to is the standard is at least 3 wipes. Now, there was one product that was certified by that DoD standard as this is an approved tool for doing wiping, and it happened to do 7 wipes, and so everyone just assumed, oh, the standard is 7. I think that's where that came from. But anyway, 3 is fine. Now, no one's mentioned Peter Gutman yet, so I will mention Peter Gutman's theme. He had a method of, as it was a 35 wipe method. Now, he wrote the paper on doing the 35 wipe method in 1996, back when hard drives, they ran on coal, I think, or something. So, even he, and I've talked with him as well, and you'll see him around at DEF CON as well, big, tall Kiwi, long hair down to here. And he says that this is overkill now on modern drives. You do not need to do 35 passes. If you want to and you feel better about it, great. But there's really no need to go to that much trouble. And what? Wow, something was thrown at me. Oh, yes.
What about the built-in ATA wipe drive command? Is that secure?
The built-in ATA wipe drive command? No, I don't believe that is secure. Now, the thing is, really, if you're going on the drive and you do, okay, let me tell you this. Okay, if you get caught with kiddie porn on your computer, that's considered a really bad thing. People that do forensic work, where they're having to actually examine, pedophiles' hard drives and stuff, a lot of times they'll have to get an image. They'll have to take an image of that drive and then work on it. For the recommendation that I've heard made to them, and this is like people like, Raven knows, like John Klein and some of those people that we know that do forensics. These are people that work at like a hacker court at Black Hat and stuff, that have done this type of work for a living. Of course, and if O.V. Carroll was here, he would actually back me up as well on this, that once they're done examining that copy of the drive and they're doing their forensics data on it, when they wipe, they typically just do 1 pass. And 1 pass is enough to wipe it to where normal, everyday, readily available forensics tools cannot recover the data off of it. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that built-in wiping thing does. If it basically gets it in 1 pass, that's probably, and gets everything, then it's probably okay. If you wanted to really be super cool, if it did 2 or 3, that'd be even better. I know the new Windows, I don't know if it's the Windows, part of the new Windows Vista, the last, they're doing that, yeah, where you can actually, when you're formatting a partition stuff, you can actually specify the number of passes it makes when it's wiping the drive or something. There's a new thing in there in the format stuff of it. So that's kind of interesting too. But nonetheless, you've got that. Now, if it's something where it's going to take an electron microscope and where they're going to actually do 3 or more wipes, that stuff's going to be classified anyway. And it will not be used against you in court because your defense lawyer would try to challenge it saying, you pulled this stuff out of your ass, no one can get this stuff out because we did 3 wipes. And more than likely you'd be in a military court and you'd be an enemy combatant because you're a terrorist or something. So don't worry about that one, folks. Public proxies. These are great for hiding your IP address from the webmaster. That is about all they're good for as far as I'm concerned. When you're using switch proxy, everyone familiar with switch proxy? I'm just picking on them for no apparent reason. Few people are familiar with switch proxy. It's just a little thing that lives in your browser, and you can, it can like change to a random list of proxies every 2-3 minutes, whatever. Or you can just force it to go to a new one. The thing is what I asked is when I saw this thing and I downloaded it, I said, hey, this is kind of neat, because you just turn it on and then you do your thing, and it's like, okay, now where did this list of proxies come from? Who owns these proxies? Gee, do I really trust all these proxies? And if I was like some evil agency of some kind that wanted to track every movement, hey, I'll just set up a whole bunch of free proxies all over the planet. There you go. I mean, I don't trust those types of things. Like I said, you're trying to hide from the webmaster. Great. That kind of stuff is just great. Email services. This will be my last comment on this at a talk. I've done it multiple times. They're not free. And again, if the government asks, whoever, you just pick your free service for your mail spool. They can hand it over. And again, the subpoena is only used if they refuse. Okay? And if I were a big TLA, why not fund one of those free email services to actually exist? So that way, I already own all the mail spools because it's on my hardware. There's no reason why someone couldn't do that kind of thing. Seriously, think about that. All right. Steganography. All right. Hidden message inside another message. Now, the one everyone hears about is image files. How Al-Qaeda is putting secret plans inside of porn and then moving porn around. I have done extensive research in this area, looking for porn, trying to find, that's what I told my wife. It's just like, I'm doing steg research. You don't understand. I'm convinced Al-Qaeda is, this lesbian Asian porn. That's where they're at. I know. I think it's this one particular girl, too, who's really hot. I think it's her. I got to get all of her stuff. Yeah, I got to check every image. That's what everyone hears about. And actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't have the images with me. I wish I did. I put them up. Not the porn ones, okay? But I did actually find some steg out on the internet, searching through images. Now, granted, they came from a site that's no longer around, but it was up for a very long time, very popular, where you could upload desktop pictures, desktop backgrounds. And you create an account, upload desktop backgrounds. And once I found this, I turned it over to some of my friends in the government saying, hey, I just found something and this looks really weird, and let them spider the site and do whatever. And like I said, it's gone away now, so. But nonetheless, that kind of thing does happen. And the thing is at this point, the person that I handed this stuff over to, he actually said to me, because I can no longer confirm or deny that I even accepted those images from you. So I was like, all right, then they probably were good.
What did you use to verify? Or what did you use to find this tonight?
I was using Steg Detect.
Was it encoded or encrypted, or was it just...
Good question. It was probably, he's asking if the data was encoded or encrypted. My guess is it was encrypted. The thing is, the problem with Steg Detect, it would just, basically, it would say, okay, here, I think I found it, and then there's a cracker that runs with it where you can try to crack it, and then what it does is, if the data is encrypted and you don't know what the encrypted data is supposed to look like, using the passphrase to get it out of there transforms the data, and I think Niels Provost, who wrote the code, just said, I'm going to use use file to try to identify it. It's plain text. It's another picture. It's whatever. And if it's encrypted data, you really can tell just real quick. And it was more of a proof of concept tool for him, but that's what I used and everything. By the way, Outguess, you use Outguess. That's a decent steg tool for doing image stuff. And I encourage you, just Google for Steg Detect and Outguess and all that stuff and read up on it. It's fascinating stuff. Obviously, you would want to encrypt data before inserting into another media, and believe it or not, other things that would be good for doing steganography is consider some somewhat old school techniques, like changes made to a web page. Or let's say if I, like the command for launch the attack is, I am a lonely housewife looking for a good time, dear Craigslist kind of thing. Then everyone says, oh, we're on Craigslist. Oh, we see the thing. Go, let's attack. then that might be, and that kind of